Good morning, and welcome to World in 15, your trusted source for comprehensive coverage of today's most pressing events, delivered with accuracy, integrity, and insight.
Chilean authorities have taken significant steps in the investigation into the devastating wildfires that ravaged the country earlier this year, resulting in over 100 fatalities. A volunteer firefighter and a former forestry official have been arrested on suspicion of igniting the wildfires, with charges including arson resulting in death. We have Shelby reporting on this.
Following their arrests, the suspects were ordered into pretrial detention by a court in Valparaiso, signaling the seriousness of the allegations. The fires, which occurred in February, claimed the lives of 137 individuals, displaced thousands, and caused extensive damage to numerous buildings. According to investigators, the two suspects allegedly planned the arson during favorable weather conditions, leading to the catastrophic outcome. Regional prosecutor Claudia Peragancic has suggested that financial gain may have been a motivating factor for the suspects, and authorities are exploring the possibility of additional individuals being involved in the crime. At present, the legal representation for the suspects remains unclear as the investigation continues to unfold. The arrests mark a significant development in the pursuit of justice for the victims and their families affected by the tragic wildfires in Chile. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
A 36-year-old man was airlifted to a hospital after sustaining multiple injuries in a grizzly bear attack in British Columbia, Canada. The incident occurred on a steep mountainside south of Elkford, British Columbia, while the man and his father were tracking a bear with dogs. We have Anthony reporting on this.
The victim suffered significant injuries, including broken bones and lacerations. He managed to defend himself with his firearm, prompting the bear to flee. Rescue teams airlifted the victim to a hospital in Calgary, Alberta, where he was reported to be in stable condition. Conservation officers later located and found the bear dead near the attack site. The Ministry of Environment and Climate Change Strategy confirmed the victim's transfer to a hospital in another province, but did not provide further updates on his condition. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
In Santiago, Chile, May has brought an unexpected chill, gripping the capital region in its coldest embrace since 1950, with temperatures plummeting to 37 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius. Residents find themselves bundled up in layers, facing a frosty reality far earlier than usual. We have Jensen reporting on this.
Meteorologist attributes this icy blast to a mass of cold air settling over the region, promising below-average temperatures for the foreseeable future. As they adapt to the unusual cold snap, authorities have activated a code blue, providing additional shelters and services for the homeless population. Despite the chill, life in Santiago persists. From warm quinoa drinks to bustling street markets, residents find ways to stay cozy and nourished. However, the cold weather has its challenges, with frozen produce and chilly hands impacting businesses like Santo Tisla's fruit and vegetable stand. Yet, amidst the cold, the spirit of Santiago endures. Residents still gather for evening pisco in the La Astoria neighborhood, seeking warmth from both heaters and spirited company. Even as temperatures drop, Santiago's vibrant energy remains undiminished, proving that while the weather may change, the city's warmth and resilience endure. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
The Dominican Republic is gearing up for a significant moment as it approaches its general election, set to take place on May 19. This crucial event will not only determine new lawmakers, but also decide the nation's next president, with voters carefully weighing economic and security concerns. We have Alana reporting on this.
Key contenders vying for the presidency include the incumbent, President Luis Abinader, a former president, and a mayor. Should no candidate secure over 50% of the vote, a runoff will follow on June 30. Here's an overview of the candidates and the pressing issues at stake. President Luis Abinader is campaigning under the banner of "The Change Continues," seeking a second term in office that would extend his tenure until 2028. A 56-year-old economist and businessman, Abinader assumed office in 2020 amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, following in the political footsteps of his father, a three-time presidential candidate. Under Abinader's leadership, the Dominican Republic experienced notable economic growth and stability during his first term, marked by record-breaking tourism numbers, surpassing 10 million visitors in 2023. His agenda for the upcoming term emphasizes continued economic development, reform initiatives, and an intensified crackdown on corruption. Plans include reforms in the national police, healthcare, and education sectors. Despite achievements in addressing challenges in the energy sector, including a commitment to improving transparency and efficiency, concerns linger. The World Bank highlights areas for improvement, such as enhancing transparency and accountability, and diversifying the energy matrix. Economist and former Dominican ambassador to the U.S., Bernardo Vega, acknowledges Abinader's strong economic team, but points out challenges, such as losses in the electric distribution system and an associated rise in external debt, which have posed challenges for his administration. As the nation prepares to cast its votes, the stakes are high, with the electorate weighing each candidate's vision for the country's future against pressing economic and governance challenges. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
In a significant development, a prominent member of a Mexican cartel, known as El Nini, has been extradited to the United States. Nestor Isidro Perez Salas, also identified as El Nini, was once on America's most wanted list for his alleged involvement in the fentanyl trade. We have Philip reporting on this.
U.S. President Joe Biden hailed the extradition as a triumph for justice, emphasizing the cooperation between the U.S. and Mexico in combating transnational crime. Perez Salas, affiliated with the notorious Sinaloa cartel, faced charges in the U.S. related to fentanyl trafficking, as well as accusations of violence including murder, torture, and kidnapping. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Perez Salas was a key operative within the Sinaloa cartel, involved in the production and distribution of fentanyl, a potent synthetic opioid responsible for numerous overdose deaths in both countries. President Biden underscored the joint efforts to combat the fentanyl epidemic, expressing determination to hold accountable those responsible for manufacturing, smuggling, and selling these deadly drugs. Previously labeled as one of America's most wanted criminals, Perez Salas was apprehended in Mexico in November, following a reward offered by the U.S. State Department for his capture. Reports indicate Perez Salas worked closely with individuals linked to the Sinaloa cartel leadership, including Oscar No Medina Gonzalez, associated with Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's family. Perez Salas was reportedly responsible for security operations within Los Chapitos, a faction of the cartel known for its violence. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland's office expressed gratitude to Mexican authorities for their efforts in securing Perez Salas's extradition, affirming the Justice Department's commitment to combating drug cartels and their detrimental impact on communities. The extradition marks a significant milestone in the ongoing efforts to dismantle criminal networks and stem the flow of illicit drugs across borders, underscoring the importance of international cooperation in combating transnational crime. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
An American citizen, Brian Hadjerich of Pennsylvania, has received a suspended sentence and a fine of $6,700 after pleading guilty to possession of ammunition in Turks and Caicos. This development marks the first resolution in a series of cases involving Americans accused of bringing ammunition into the island chain. We have Jordan reporting on this.
Hadjerich's sentence, which includes a 52-week suspended term, allows him to return to the United States upon payment of the fine, according to his attorney Oliver Smith. However, failure to pay the fine would result in the commencement of the one-year sentence. Following the sentencing, Hadjerich expressed his gratitude for being reunited with his family, emphasizing the strength they demonstrated throughout the ordeal. His return to the U.S. was met with joy as he reunited with his children at Pittsburgh International Airport. Turks and Caicos Premier Washington Missick reiterated the territory's commitment to upholding the law while considering exceptional circumstances. Missick affirmed that justice had been served in accordance with the Firearms Act, which allows for reduced sentences under specific conditions. Meanwhile, the fate of the 4 other Americans charged in similar cases remains uncertain. While released on bail, they await their court dates, with one individual permitted to return to the U.S. for medical reasons. The Turks and Caicos authorities emphasize their dedication to ensuring safety and justice for all residents and visitors to the islands. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
Despite high hopes and extensive planning, the deployment of an international force to address the escalating violence in Haiti has faced yet another setback, dashing expectations of an imminent arrival of Kenyan police this week. We have Patrick reporting on this.
While meetings between Haitian officials and a Kenyan delegation hinted at progress, the delay in the international force's deployment underscores the persistent challenges facing the violence-racked nation. In Port-au-Prince, the Haitian Transitional Presidential Council held discussions with the Kenyan delegation, while in Washington, U.S. President Joe Biden and Kenyan President William Ruto emphasized their nation's collaboration on the mission, largely supported by the U.S. President Ruto highlighted the shared responsibility of nations in ensuring peace and security in Haiti, pledging Kenya's commitment to assisting the Haitian police in combating gangs and criminal elements. However, the delay in the international force's arrival comes as armed groups continue to wreak havoc in Port-au-Prince, exerting control over vital resources and perpetrating violence against residents. The situation has been exacerbated by the formation of a coalition among rival gangs, coordinating attacks on government institutions and expanding their influence across the city. Haiti's national police, though valiant in their efforts, are facing significant challenges due to being understaffed and ill-equipped to combat the escalating violence. Law enforcement officials in Haiti liken the urban battleground to quicksand, emphasizing the urgent need for reinforcements to maintain control and defend territory. The influx of smuggled firearms further complicates efforts to address the crisis. Despite existing arms embargoes, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has defended U.S. support for the international mission, warning that without foreign assistance, Haiti risks descending into a state of total collapse. The delay in the deployment of the international force underscores the critical nature of the situation, highlighting the urgent need for concerted efforts to stabilize the country and restore peace and security for its citizens. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
A tragic incident unfolded on Mount Everest as an experienced Kenyan mountaineer lost his life, while rescuers continued to search for the Nepali Sherpa who accompanied him. The duo attempted to summit Everest without supplemental oxygen, a feat fraught with peril at such high altitudes. We have Lee reporting on this.
The body of 40-year-old Joshua Chariot Carew was discovered approximately 20 meters from the summit of the world's tallest peak, according to Nepal's Department of Tourism. Despite extensive search efforts, the 44-year-old guide Nawang Sherpa remains missing. Carew, a banker based in Nairobi, and Nawang Sherpa were reported missing after losing radio contact early Wednesday. Subsequent search operations scored camps and trails along the mountain, eventually locating Carew's body at an altitude of about 28,970 feet. Described as a passionate athlete and mountaineer by his employer, KCB Bank, Carew had previously achieved the remarkable feat of summiting Mount Everest, making him the second Kenyan to accomplish this milestone. His Instagram post prior to the expedition documented his preparations and determination to conquer Everest without supplemental oxygen, highlighting the physical and mental challenges he anticipated. The tragic news of Carew's death elicited an outpouring of condolences from his followers, who had initially offered words of encouragement and support. Known for his love of the outdoors and adventurous spirit, Carew's colleagues remembered him as an individual with an indomitable will and a penchant for conquering formidable landscapes. CEO Paul Russo of KCB Group paid tribute to Carew's adventurous nature, citing his recent triumphs on Mount Manaslu and Mount Everest as testaments to his determination and passion for mountaineering. As the mountaineering community mourns the loss of Joshua Chariot Carew and awaits news of Nawang Sherpa's fate, the tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the inherent risks and challenges associated with scaling the world's highest peaks. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
Thanks for tuning in to World in 15 for your daily dose of news and updates. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on breaking stories and insightful analysis.